All right. It is 7:01. I am going to be mindful of everybody's time. And I welcome you. Good evening to Camp at the J Summer 2020. I know this is a little weird to be doing this on Zoom rather than in person, but I think we can cover everything we need to tonight. I want to introduce myself. I'm Ann Goldstein. I am the camp director this summer for Camp at the J. I have over 20 years experience in the JCC field and all over the country. So I am very excited for this summer. We've had a great week this week with staff training, and I want to introduce our assistant camp director.
Hi everyone, my name is Lauren. I'm so excited to see you guys and excited to see you this coming summer.
Perfect. Great. So like I said, welcome to camp. A lot of you will be joining us the whole summer, all 7 weeks of camp that we have. And some of you will be just popping in and out based on what you've got going on this summer. So I do want you to know there are still some spots available. If you are interested, tell your friends. We are almost full in a lot of our age groups, but we do still have some spots. All right. Let's start with, I do want to just set the tone for the night. Everybody will be muted tonight. If you have questions as we go along, please write them in the chat room. Lauren will be looking for them, and at the end, we will answer all the questions. So we thank you, and let's get started. All right. So I introduced myself. Lauren introduced herself. We will be joined with some other wonderful staff members this summer. Spencer Mandel works at the JCC full time. He will be one of our unit heads. He has a long background working with camps at Camp Livingston, and he will be our music specialist this summer as well. Deborah Silverman runs our youth and family programming at the J. She will be a unit head this summer and one of our art specialists. So a lot of our preschoolers coming in from the ECS know Miss Deborah, and she will be around for us this summer. We have hired 16 staff members that will be running our bunks for the summer. They are with us this week as we are knee deep into our staff training. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of, and Courtney, sorry, one more thing, sorry. Courtney Lamb will be in our office. She will be the one who will take our phone calls when in the morning if somebody doesn't feel well, or if you decide not to come to camp for that day, please call the office. Let us know that they are not going to be there. Otherwise, she will probably call you later in the day to ask why you're not there, just to make sure that we're going to miss them. If you have any questions, need to pick children up in the daytime, Courtney will be the person you call. Okay. Dropping off at the front at the morning of camp. So we are sharing our parking lot with the early childhood school, as we always do. They're on some modified time schedules as well. So their drop off will end at 9 a.m. So we are asking any of our families to not start arriving until 9:15. That gives us a little bit of leeway for the early childhood schools to finish their drop off and for us to begin ours. We probably won't take anybody out of the cars until about 9:20. So please do not come into the JCC parking lot until 9:15. Once we start taking kids out of the cars, it'll be Lauren and myself at the carpool line. What we will do is we will have digital thermometers. They do not touch anybody's head. We will just point it right at them, and it will show us what the temperature is of the children. Anybody who has 100.0 or higher will not be able to come to camp that day. That is considered a temperature in our book, and that is what the policy is at the JCC. So every staff member working at the JCC does this as well. First activity a child will do coming out of the car is washing the hands. You will see we kind of have a roped off hose. After we take them out of the car, we will get them to the hose. They will wash their hands and then a counselor will take them over to the bunks. Camp hours this year are from 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. There's no before and after care, unfortunately, this summer. Each bunk will have a total of 9 children, no more, with 2 counselors. So that means that they will be walking around in a bunk of 11. They will not be mixing with any other bunks throughout the day. We have strategically made everybody's schedule so that they are not mixing or crossing paths. After each activity, they will go and wash hands. And again, that has been strategically placed so that they are not in an area together with another bunk. Everybody will wash hands before and after each activity. Masks will be worn throughout the J as we are walking to and from activities in the J. We will provide the masks. Everybody will have a name on their masks, and they will have a baggie that will be given to each bunk. They can put it in at the end of the night. It will go in their bin, and they will have it the next morning. If you prefer to bring your own, that is fine, but one will be provided for them. What we ask is that when you are bringing a water bottle to camp, that there's a carabiner on the water bottle, and this is where they can hold their mask as they're walking through, because they're probably not carrying their backpacks. That will be left in their bunk. That they can just hook their carabiner or hook their mask onto their carabiner as they get to their activity. Please label everything. We say this every year, and we have lost and found every year. This year, mandated by the governor, we cannot have lost and found. We have to throw everything away. So if I find a towel or shorts or a camp shirt or a water bottle and it has the child's name on it, I will get it back to you before the end of the day. Please, please label everything. You may have counselors at the end of the day realize that a water bottle has not been labeled. They may ask, can I write your child's name on this? I've instructed them to ask before they do write. I do know some people do get a little touchy writing on things, but unfortunately we cannot get lost and found, not have a pile. Everything will be discarded at the end of the day. What to bring to camp every day. Please bring a bathing suit, a towel, sunscreen, lunch, a water bottle with a carabiner. What we are asking, please put the sunscreen on your child prior to coming to camp. We know little ones will have a little trouble putting sunscreen all over them. If they need it reapplied, which they will throughout the day, we are asking that you bring aerosol sunscreen so that we don't have to touch any of the children. We can just spray them and make sure that they are covered. And lunch, please label lunch. Lots of lunch boxes look the same, or brown paper bags. Lunches will go in a bin and they will go into our office. It is air conditioned in the office, but the lunches will not be refrigerated. Pickup is at 3:30. Please don't start lining up at our JCC until about 3:20. Again, just for the sake of traffic. And then we will start letting everybody in and dismiss as car line starts to progress. Okay, these are the activities that we have scheduled for every camper throughout the summer. They will have free swim, archery, music, drama, art in the art room, Shabbat Sing every Friday with Rabbi Shana and Spencer, our music specialist. We will have sports. Sports will be modified this summer as we are taking into consideration people touching things. When we play Gaga in our Gaga pit, it will only be a one-on-one Gaga and do like a round robin as opposed to having everybody playing together in one area. So we have made some modifications to a lot of things that we would play and things that we won't be playing, like basketball, things where you're really close to each other. This summer, we are calling Nature Teva. This will be run by Mai, who is the Haverim, the Federation Haverim. She is back from Israel, and she is joining us this summer to run our Teva program, our nature program. Jewish Journeys will be run by Rabbi Shana, PJ Library, and Mr. Mike. For those of you who signed up for a lot of Mr. Mike's specialty camps, that is what he will be running in a program way for all ages instead of just those specialty camps. So the dino digs, the science, wacky science, nuts and bolts, building things, nature, all sorts of things that only Mr. Mike can run. He will be running, but in programs for all ages. Okay, a few reminders. This year, if you're running late and you can't make it to carpool by that 9:30 time slot, we are asking, and you will see some signs, we are asking that you park your car because we probably still won't be out there. Park your car and call Courtney, and we will have a counselor come get your child out of the car. We are asking that nobody come into the camp office. We are really keeping our visitors to a minimum. Park your car and we will be happily come get your child. Same with picking them up early for a dentist appointment, doctor appointment, whatever may happen throughout the summer. Just give us a call. Let us know you're on our way. Call us when you get there and we will have your child ready and we will bring them out to you. Like I said, please apply sunscreen prior to arriving at camp. Make sure all the ears, everything is lathered up so they are ready for a day in the sun. If you are a kindergarten through second grader, please have them come in their bathing suits. This will just be so much easier for counselors to get them ready to go to the pool. They are one of the first groups to go swimming. Everybody will swim for a half hour, but this is just takes one less transition for them. So if you put them in their bathing suit, please make sure you've put their underwear and all the goodies that they need after for changing in their backpacks. Okay, for communication with us, we will be sending out weekly emails on Friday outlining things that are upcoming for that next week. Dress up days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We are not taking any field trips, so all those kind of reminders will not be in that this summer. We've got wonderful sponsors. Some sponsor highlights will be in there. So anything you really need to know from us will be in that weekly email. Please do not hesitate if you have any questions throughout a week to email our day camp email. Lauren and I check that all the time. So that is something that we can always respond back within that day. If there is an emergency at camp, you will receive a text. It is a one-way text. We will be texting it to you from this number. It will give you what we are doing and any information you need to know. If something needs to be followed up, there will be a voice message that is sent to you with the number that is on the screen. Forget that hand washing before and after activity that was added on. But if there's anything you need to know, it will come via text or a message and explaining what you need to do next. Please do not come to the JCC in a panic. Please wait until we've told you what needs to happen. This is a program that we use with our early childhood school, our after crew program. This is something that we use at the JCC for our safety and security. And please, if anyone in your house is showing any symptoms of COVID, please keep your camper home. Okay, a little more about swim this year. Unfortunately, we have foregone the lessons this summer, so lessons will not be given. They will have free swim only for that 30 minutes. Kindergarten and second grade or through second grade will have the opportunity if they feel it's necessary. They will have life jackets available to use. They will be sanitized after every group comes through and uses them. Those of you who are worried about the swim test and can I go in the deep end, swim test will be given on Mondays. If your child does not pass but wants to try it again, we will try it again any day they are ready for it. Counselors will be in the water with them. with the little ones. We know that the stairs is a very popular place for them to congregate, yet we don't want them all together. So what we will do is we will put those platforms in the water, put a platform in the water that they use usually for lessons, and a counselor will be working with them over there as they're bopping around in their life jackets. There will only be one group from camp at the pool. They will be with the regular members, but again, they will still be in the ratio of, or the numbers that the pool puts forth of 40 people, and we will take 11 of those spots. Please apply the sunscreen in the morning. And camp will only be swimming this summer in the outdoor pool. If it rains and it's thundering and lightning, we just won't swim that day or that time slot. We will not be going to the indoor pool to use the splash pool. It does open next week, but camp will not be using it this summer. Okay. I know we've all heard about COVID. These are some symptoms I really want you to think about when when somebody says they don't feel well. If they're showing any symptoms of a fever, chills, body aches, loss of smell or taste, nausea, and more, and it's gone on a few days, if you feel that they need a test, please have them tested. If they test positive, please let us know immediately and the health department. And you know, all we hope for this summer is that everybody is staying safe and healthy. We are doing everything we can to keep them socially distanced within their bunks. But you know, we know that sometimes they will get a little closer than we would like. We are not going to get them in trouble for any of that. We will gently remind them. We have worked very hard this week on fun games to keep them socially distanced, reminders, washing our hands, making it fun, singing songs, all sorts of things to make this fun for them and realize that this is around them, but this is just the way camp is this summer. I want to talk about the refund policy. It was a question I've received a few times this week. If we have to do anything and we will cancel camp, you will receive a refund. You know, please talk to me if you have any questions about that. I know Courtney has done a great job this week following up on people who need their forms turned in. If she has sent you an email or called you, please, please, please send those forms in. We do need those as soon as possible. If I've reached out to you about payment, please, please, please reach back out to me so we can square that up before Monday. And I think that's all I have. And again, I want to thank our wonderful sponsors for everything they do and support at Camp at the J. We really can't do all of this without them. So we are grateful for them. So I am going to turn it over to Lauren for some questions.
Hi, everyone. So we did get a couple of questions, and in the meantime, I do see there are a couple other ones, so I'm trying to pay attention to both, but please keep sending these questions. And if you leave this conversation feeling like you have more, please feel free to email the day camp email. But just to go through some of these, one of the questions is, what is the policy about bug spray? I don't know if you want to address that, Anne.
Bug spray. There are some bunks that will want to be in the nature and in some of our wooded area. I'm asking you, please do bring the bug spray. They will be the only ones using it. It will not be shared. The other thing about lunch, food will not be shared. Really, nothing is going to be shared. Everybody has their own everything. So if you feel your child is so sweet and is getting bitten all the time, I'm that person. So I get it. Please bring the bug spray.
The next question is archery for all grade levels?
Yes. Everybody will participate in archery. Adam is trained. We also have Mr. Mike, who is a level 2 trainer. So everybody will work with archery. We do it with our early childhood school kids. So we've worked with, 3 and 4-year-olds working with archery. Everybody is very safe. And there are definitely rules down there that they will follow.
So the next one was how to get a hold of Courtney in the office. So I just typed a message to everyone. If I were you, I would make camp in your contacts. I can read the number aloud, but it's 513-722-7249. And then I also included the day camp email as well, that you're always welcome to reach out. Courtney, our admin, receives those emails, and I receive them as well. So between me and her, Ann and I, we all see those emails. So we're happy to help in any way we can. Another question was how to get a copy of these slides. If you would like a copy of them, you can feel free to email the day camp email and just say, hey, Lauren, can I just get the slides? I want to look at them. Great. We're happy to send them to you. Someone asked the question of deciding the camper's age, if it's going into kindergarten or if they're currently in kindergarten. So just to explain that a little further, your camp grade or your camper's camp grade is the grade they're going into in the fall. So we are only doing kindergarten through 8th grade this year. So the youngest we have is going into kindergarten. So if your camper is going into kindergarten, they're a pioneer. And if they're going into 1st grade, but they were in kindergarten this past year, they're going to be a trailblazer. The next question was, should we arrange with Courtney if we need to pick up our child early any days?
Yeah.
Sam, do you want to?
Yes, please. If you know at drop-off, please email Courtney. Lauren and I are going to be talking to a lot of parents at drop-off. The easiest is just to email day camp or call Courtney in the morning, I would say at 10-ish, and let her know that you are picking up early. She has a list. She will let the counselors know so that we have them at the office during that time slot that you're supposed to be there. And again, call her when you get there, and we will bring that child out to you.
Awesome. The next question was, are kids allowed to bring goggles? Yes, of course. It goes kind of along with the bug spray thing. Every camper has their own of everything. Something that we used to have is having extra pairs of goggles, which we can't do this year. So if your camper needs goggles to swim or wants them, make sure that you send a pair with their name on them, in Sharpie, preferably. Our next question is, are there any themes for the weeks or just camp? Next week was originally listed as Harry Potter week.
Correct. So what we did get rid of the weekly themes, but what we will have, and I think it will probably be emailed to you weekly, we will have dress up days. So we may have, I think the first week is polka dot day and maybe crazy
hair.
Yeah. So we will have fun activity, some fun dress up days for everybody to participate in, and really cool. The lifeguards want to participate this year too. They asked what the days were. So it catches on. Everybody wants to be a part of camp.
Mm-hmm. We're really excited about those theme days too, because we haven't really been able to have them in the past, just since it's always a themed week. So I think it'll be really fun. The next question is, if COVID positive in a camper or a family member, what is the return policy to camp? What if they're sick but not COVID positive? Returning to camp after being symptom-free for 24 hours. Is that the case?
So the difference between COVID, I'll address just being sick. If you've got a fever, please stay away from camp at least 24 hours. That's 24 hours without having any medication in you and fever-free for those 24 hours. We are just trying to keep everybody healthy, looking out for staff and for campers. Now, COVID is a different story, and that we will have to take into consideration. Thank goodness we have not had anybody test positive for anybody at the J. So this is not necessarily just a camp thing. It's a policy within the JCC, and we will have to involve them as well. I will tell you, the minute we know anything, those in the bunk and the camp will know as well.
I think just off of that, being sick in general, not necessarily COVID related, with our camp staff, we've been working so hard all week with them and making sure that there's really good procedures in place to clean in between, make sure all of our staff has access to, wipes and sprays and whatever else they'll need to keep them clean, and our hand washing stations and stuff. Something that we've really been pushing with our staff is just make sure you're taking care of yourself. And I think that's really important for campers too. And, we're going to be talking a lot at camp about proper hand washing and taking care of our bodies and making sure that we're keeping ourselves safe and our friends safe. So I think, just on the family side too, if you guys can reiterate it, it'll just make it stronger and help every camper grow.
Drinking water is very important to hydrate on these very hot days. If your camper's not the biggest water drinker, talk about how important it is, because we will be talking about it as well. Again, we want everybody to stay healthy and safe throughout the summer.
So that was all of our questions. We did get one really nice compliment from Justin that I just wanted to address because, we've talked to so many of your families and other families throughout the past few months, and we've really appreciated everyone's support. I mean, it's been very interesting, but we're really excited to run camp. We feel really strong about our staff and confident. So we're really happy that you're all here to be a part of it too. I did see another question come in. Just to clarify, if a camper tests positive for COVID, is all of camp canceled?
We do have a nurse on staff. So this is something that we will have to talk with our CEO, our COO, and our nurse to make sure we are running everything correctly. She's run over our policies. We've worked with the J opening along with camp opening, and we feel we are very ready for this. We will have to work with them if that happens.
The next question is, what happens if it rains?
Oh, we've touched this a lot today. If it rains, camp's still on. So if it's drizzling, oh, believe us, we will be out and about. Please just pack a rain jacket for them. If it's storming, every place, every part, every program, if they were outside, they have a linked indoor space. So we have a wonderful laminated thing on their clipboard, so everybody knows where to go. If they were at the pool and it starts storming, they know exactly where to go. So we are lucky in a way that there aren't so many people in the J, that we've got this availability of the J and we can utilize it to our fullest. But we will keep on trucking in the rain. Those of you who are joining us next week, it looks like it's going to be a little rough weather. So we have touched on this. Everybody knows what the rain plan is. And it's camp. We're okay to get wet.
The next question is, how are they refilling their waters?
So they will be refilling their waters. We've got Gatorade jugs. In the past, everybody's available to go fill their waters up. This summer, only a counselor will be able to fill their waters up. They will use a glove and they will hold the spigot down, fill up the water, and only one counselor wearing a mask will be able to do that. As they transition and walk by, all the water fountains in the J are covered up. If you've been there, there is a water filling station just to hold your water bottle under. So those of you who will head up to Art, they will stop by, refill, and move on. But we will fill the water coolers multiple times if needed, with ice, with fresh water from the kitchen, but only a counselor will be able to touch those.
Just to reiterate too, just if anyone isn't aware, by CDC regulations, like the JCC itself isn't allowed to have their water fountains on. So that it's kind of funny because the water filling has been like the funkiest obstacle we had to overcome, but it's all going to be okay. And we do have a plan in place for that. The next question is, can we put all of the campers' things in a small bag to keep everything together? I would say definitely yes. Make sure your camper's bringing a backpack every day with all of their stuff. They're gonna have their bunk that they're still keeping their stuff in, and they'll go back and forth throughout the day to kind of change, get their stuff. we've been working with our staff to kind of figure out how to space out everyone's things, making sure that when you're leaving the bunk, make sure everyone's backpack is zipped. And that way, like, everything's just inside. It gets rid of the just stuff laying around. But from right now, what I'm seeing, that is our last question.
Say one thing, Lauren.
Mhm.
So those of you who have kindergarten first graders, please, if getting dressed is still a little bit of an obstacle for them, again, we're not going to have counselors that can really help them. So please work on that this weekend, putting their pants on, putting their shirt on. We don't care if it's inside out. We don't care if it's on the wrong way. They're dressed and everything belongs to them, and it's then put back into their backpack. We are just proud of them for putting it all on. So if you can help with that and coach them along the way, that would be very helpful for us.
Other than that, I don't see any questions. So if you do leave this conversation and you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I ask that? Feel free to reach out to the day camp email, my email, Anne's email. We're available throughout the weekend, too. If you think of something, we'll make sure to get back to you as soon as we can. We just really wanted to host this to make sure that everyone felt comfortable and was ready for a great summer.
And I can tell you our staff is so excited to meet these kiddos. So
our staff is amazing this year. I know I say that every year, but they're really amazing this year. We only have 3 more minutes, Anne, just so you know.
I know. Any last questions before I wrap this up? No, it's good to see some of you in person.
We're really excited, if you can't tell.
All right. Well, those of you on the phone, I wish you a happy Father's Day. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see a lot of you Monday morning.
Yay.